This beauty of an engine was rebuilt 20 years ago by a Beamer dealer nearby and then put somewhere like the rest of the bike. And in this video we want to put this huge, really heavy engine into the frame and hopefully get it running. This is supposed to have much more power than original. See here, they modified this swinging, I don't know, this weight kind of thing. As far as I know, this engine is completely rebuilt. I think it's really, really beautiful. Yeah, I did it alone. It's in.
As next step, the gearbox wanted to go in, and lazy me thought that I can put it in without removing anything. Of course, after it's done, I always know how things go and how they don't go, but you can clearly see it didn't fit, so I had to remove some parts and try again, try again, try again. Sometimes it's better not to be so lazy and just remove everything and make enough space so it goes in the first way.
No chance this won't fit. Now we got more space here. Should work now.
I'm nearly there. You see that one stud? Yes. With that on, no chance.
Gearbox attempt number 52. Does the screw head look special to you? It definitely does to me, and I didn't know what special tool I need for this. These 4 screws lock this cardan thing to the gearbox. And the last days I was struggling to get the special tool. And I asked a friend. You know what he told me? You already got the tool. It's a normal wrench. I didn't know these screws exist. But before we can tighten these screws down to 48 Newton meters, we want to get this rear end together again. And now we can fiddle these tiny screws in. See, that's all space I got to get these screws in. It's kind of tight. Okay, this one was easy. Now I turn the wheel for the second one. Why did we mount the rear wheel? Simply because now I can lock it with the brake and tighten these screws down. What's the best part of the cake? This part. I want to put in the battery now because I don't know when these covers are on if there's enough space later on, and this battery is huge and heavy.
As far as I know, the starter motor from this bike is actually from another car, and that explains why the battery is so huge, because it consumes a lot of amps. The nice carburetors which have been rebuilt in previous video will work fine. Unfortunately, I'm still missing one aluminum part which goes to the airbox cover, so I can't complete everything now. But I really want to see that thing fire up so we can mount everything else like the exhaust. I improvised a little bit to fill in the gearbox oil because this one is not easy to reach. This gearbox oil is really thick and it takes a lot of time to fill, so while doing this we can start to install the electrics. If you know where to route the cables, it's an easy job in general, but on this bike the cables for the rear blinkers and the taillight go through the subframe and the owner cut all wires to get the cables through. So I had to put on new connectors. As you may know, I wasn't the person to disassemble this bike over 20 years ago, and I have never touched such a beamer before, so I didn't know where to put which cables, which plugs go where and everything else. I had a really hard time for the cabling, but in the end with pictures from Google and so on, I figured it out and it's all connected now. This is what I mentioned earlier before, the cables go into the subframe and leave the subframe behind the taillight. And there's not much space for these cables.
Finally, after so much work and so many hours in this cold garage, every single wire is connected and I'm really excited to see what works and what doesn't. Great, the neutral light works, the battery light and the oil light works. Let's see if I put some gear in. Ah yeah. This indicates that the bike is in neutral. Let's see the brake. No, not quite. So what works? Light is off now. If we switch it on, light goes on. What about the blinkers? You got the indicators. Okay. Left side definitely works. The light works. Right side. Yes, baby. What about that tail light? No, does nothing. There's a 2-wire light bulb and 1 wire is broken. That's why the brake light doesn't work and the tail light when light is on works. So this is no big deal. Okay. I really need to relax myself now. Electric wise, everything works so far. And I've set up the most professional gas tank ever. Will this bike run? Will it run? Will it run? We will see. You see what I see? Dropping gasoline. Okay, we stop right here. Check the carburetor already. Seems like the float level wasn't adjusted to the right position. Luckily, it's so easy to get to these carburetors. Now it seems to be good. Let's see if this bike will run now.